What if you could go back in time and share a valuable life lesson with your younger self? Well, on this episode of Real Talk, I'm going to do exactly just that. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Carlos here. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, my all-new series in which I interview interesting guests in the world of business and answer your social media questions. So this episode for me is one that's very personal. In fact, the question that I'm going to answer today is one that I've been sitting on for a couple of weeks. And the reason why is because it is so personal to me. I've really thought through how am I going to go ahead and answer to offer some guidance and some light. And something that I really want the viewers out there to know about me is that professional growth and development is extremely, extremely important to me. I dropped out of high school at 17. I didn't go to college. I started off my career selling shoes. And for me to get to where I'm at today, 16 years later, has not been an easy road whatsoever. In fact, I'm getting goosebumps even talking about it right now. And along that journey, along these last 16 years, there's a lot that I've learned about myself, there's a lot that I've learned about life, and there's a lot that I've learned about people that today I want to be able to give back. And my own personal mission statement is to educate, motivate, and inspire as many people as possible, which is why helping those that are just getting started in their own journey is such an important cause that I want to get behind. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into today's question, which comes to me from Logan.
I'm 21, from Minnesota, trying to make a name for myself on my own. What is the best overall life lesson you could tell an 18-year-old that would get me closer to get to my goal of saving $100,000 before I'm 30?
I love this question because it's from someone who right up front has a goal in mind, and that's to save up $100,000 before the age of 30. And this is actually a two-part question. So the first part to this, Logan, that I'm going to answer is having goals. Having goals is critical, but most importantly, how are you going to go ahead and reach those goals? And I think there's something that you really need to take a step back from this, which is how am I going to go ahead and actually get to that 100K? It's going to be obviously through working, because you have to work in order to make the money. And if you're sitting there at 21 and don't necessarily have the experience, it's going to give you the high paying job, then you need to get that experience somewhere. And that's getting a job. And I say this because there's such a almost like negativity around the word employed or gainfully employed nowadays. You see so much content out there from thought leaders that are just pounding the word hustle and entrepreneur, and it's almost like it makes being employed a bad thing. And let me just go ahead and say this to Logan and anyone else out there watching. I'm employed, and I've been happily employed for the last 6 years, in which the 4 years before being employed, I was self-employed, and I really didn't make much money. And I struggled a whole heck of a lot. So my advice to you, if you're sitting out there at 21, is how do you get as much experience as you possibly can? And that's getting a job that is going to essentially pay you to learn a skill set. I've often said this since I started my career, that everything you do in life is a stepping stone for your future. So at 21, get a job that's going to pay you. You can save a little bit of money, put money aside every paycheck, and as you continue to grow in your career, you're going to keep saving up more and more. Now, the second part to your question, this is really where I want to take some time opening up, because I know just like you, there's a lot of other folks that are getting started in their professional journey that follow me on Snapchat or on Instagram. What I would tell my younger self if I had to go back in time is many things, but the first is to enjoy the experience. I am 33 years old right now, and I feel like I missed out on enjoying the years of 18 to about 23. And the reason why is because not only did I find myself in a position dropping out of high school, but I also got married at a very young age. And then I had kids at a young age. So I felt like I was always trying to rush to become an adult. And I was really trying to constantly rush to grow throughout my career. And when I was right around your age, and I used to work in the banking industry for Citigroup, I often said my goal is to be an executive by the time I'm 30 years old. And when I come to think about it now, my goals back then weren't realistic. At 19, 20, 21 years old, to then have this aspiration be a corporate executive, now that I look back, it's just not realistic. So I would definitely tell younger Carlos Gil, slow it down and enjoy the journey. Don't try to force the journey. In fact, take advantage of the fact that you're young, that you can soak up knowledge, seek out mentors. That's something that I didn't do. I didn't have anybody that was a mentor to me coming up in my grind. And yes, my mom and dad have always been there for me, but parents aren't necessarily mentors. I think parents are good role models to look up to and to model, but they're not necessarily mentors. I think having a mentor, which is someone that you can sit down face to face with and say, these are my goals, and they can actually explain to you how to get there and keep you accountable and keep you in check. And when you slip up, they're gonna tell you because they are unbiased. That is what you need in your life. And I did not have that coming up in my journey. In fact, I started seeking out mentors when I got closer to 30 because I tried to do everything on my own. And as I was realizing that you're only gonna get so high up in your career or in life, and you need other people to help open up doors for you, that's when I started to really value things like mentorship and working with mentors. So once again, Logan and anyone else that's watching this, enjoy where you're at right now. I meet a lot of 17 and 18-year-olds that think they have everything figured out. And the reality, guys, is that you have a lot of aspiration, you have a lot of enthusiasm, but you don't have things figured out. You need the experience. You need to get a job and you need to go to work to get that experience. So then when you say, you know what, I am ready to branch out into the world, people aren't gonna just laugh at you and push you over. Instead, they're gonna go ahead and take you serious. And the last thing that I would tell my younger self is you don't need the bling bling. You don't need the nice car. No one cares about these material things. At the end of the day, no one cares in the corporate world what car you drive. In fact, and this is real talk, most executives that I have met throughout my career drive a minivan or a Toyota Corolla. They don't drive the Maserati or the Maybach like you see on Instagram people that have a lot of money or show themselves to have a lot of money do. A true executive from what I've seen at companies drive very modest cars, but they have very big houses and they have a lot of money in the bank. So if you're sitting there at 21 thinking over the next 9 years, I wanna have 100K in the bank, then that means you have to save a little over $10,000 every single year starting right now. So live a very modest lifestyle. Don't have cable TV. Don't go ahead and have the nicest clothes. Don't go out to eat a lot. Go ahead and save as much as you possibly can. I'll keep it 100 with you. I did not start really saving with things like 401k or having a savings account until I became a much older adult like I am now. You know what? I need to start thinking about things like retirement and whatnot. And again, those are things that mentors put in check for you. So hopefully, Logan, and to anyone else out there watching, you feel my passion, and hopefully this serves as some sort of beacon of light for all of you. And I just want to put this out there for anyone watching this who is young, who's just getting started and needs a mentor. Feel free to reach out to me. My website is carlosgil.biz. I'm gonna drop a link to my website here in the description of this video, and please feel free to reach out to me. Hit me up on IG at carlosgil83. Hit me up on Twitter at carlosgil83 or on Snapchat at @thecarlosgil with any questions that you might have. And that is Real Talk. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Real Talk. If you liked this episode, be sure to subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and also be sure to follow my friends at the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center, where I'm recording here in San Francisco. You can find them on Twitter as well as on Instagram at The Center. Until next time, I will see you on social media. Peace.